Hi students. Now we are discussing about another topic named thermal expansion of solids. So, on rising temperature, how the solids are expanded. We know solids have a regular shape. Whenever they have the regular shape, all the molecules in the solid are arranged uniformly. Okay, whenever the gap between the two molecules is increases, then we said it is heating effect. If the gap between the molecules is decreases, this is called as cooling effect. Anytime if you heated a metal, generally metals are expanding and raising the temperature, then the gap between the molecules must be increases. Otherwise, we can't say this is expansion. Let us take a small example. I am considering a one metal sheet. On that metal sheet, I make a small cavity here, hole. Okay. Now, in this cavity, I think this is radius r. Okay, this is the metallic sheet. This is the sheet. Now, heated this metallic sheet. Then what happens? On rising temperature, metals are expanded now. So what happens to this circumference of the hole or circumference of the cavity? Increases or decreases? Answer is always increases. Why? See, here I am taking two molecules on the periphery of the cavity. Now, what I said, it is a metal sheet. On rising temperature, what we said, the gap between the molecule should be increases now. So, gap between the molecule should be increases means they move apart to each other. If you take one molecule here, another molecule here, in between these two molecules also gap must be increases. So what happens? No doubt at all, the size of the cavity will be increases now. So if it is taken as R2 and it is taken as R1, R2 must be greater than R1. Okay. For suppose I take another example here. I am considering two cavities on the metallic sheet. Okay. On rising the temperature, let this is the radius R1 and this is the radius R2. Again, it is the metallic sheet. The question asking, if temperature is rises, what happens to the R1? No doubt, R1 is rises. What happens to the R2? R2 also rises. What happens to the diameter? Diameter also rises. Now the question is, what happens to the gap between the two cavities? What happens to the gap between the two cavities? Increases or decreases? Our answer is again increases. Why? Let us take one molecule here, another molecule here. On heating, what we said, the gap between the two molecules must be increases. So if you want to increase the gap now, automatically the distance also increases. So always keep in mind, while in theory questions they asking the questions in this manner. So on rising temperature, what happens between the metallic sheets or cavities, length, diameter they asking. Always the gap should be increases, because during expansion gap must be increases. So for suppose they given another question. A wire is bent like this. He left certain gap between the two ends of the wire. Let the gap is 1 centimeter. Now I am heating this wire. What happens to the gap? So take one molecule here, another molecule here. On rising the temperature, what happens? Gap must be increases. Gap must be increases means my answer is more than 1 centimeter. Understand? Solids have particular shape. Now all we said, whenever solids have a particular shape, it expands in one dimensional. If it expands in one dimensional, it is called as linear expansion. If it is expands in two dimensional, it is called as superficial expansion. Sometimes it is called as aerial expansion also. If it is expansion in three dimensional, it is called as cubical expansion or volume expansion. I am considering one wire. Wire has length is more and its area of cross section is very less compatible with the length of the wire. Then that is related to the one dimensional. If suppose I take a pen, this is in the form of cylinder. It has a length and area of cross section. So it has volume 3D. If you take one sheet, sheet has length and breadth. So length and breadth means you can go through the superficial expansion. So depending on the shape of the body, the expansion will be takes place by three methods: linear expansion or superficial expansion or cubical expansion. Let us check in one dimension. In one dimension, we have linear expansion. To understand the word of linear expansion, I am considering one wire whose length is taken as L1 at certain temperature T1 degree Celsius. If you want, you may take it at 0 degree Celsius. Now, the temperature of the wire is increases. Means I would like to increase the temperature up to T2 degree Celsius. Now, metallic wire length is always increases, I said. So, this length is I considered as L2. So, this is L1 and this is L2. What is the change in length? If they ask change in length, I think this is L1 now. This is L1, this is L2. So the change is just this portion. This is called L2 minus L1. Nothing but sometimes the question consisting of expansion of wire. What is the meaning of expansion? L2 minus L1. This expansion is always directly proportional to the initial length of the wire, and it is also directly proportional to the temperature difference between the 2 points. So if you combine these two, L2 minus L1 is directly proportional to L1 into T2 minus T1. If you remove the proportional, we can make one proportionality constant alpha L1 T2 minus T1. Here alpha is called as coefficient of linear expansion. So what is the value of alpha? Alpha is equal to L2 minus L1 by L1 into T2 minus T1. For my convenience, L2 minus L1 is written as delta L, L1 is written as L, T2 minus T1 is nothing but delta T. What are the units for coefficient of linear expansion? Length units are meter, length units are meter. Meter cancel. That's why its units are per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. So this is about the coefficient of linear expansion. The meaning of coefficient means it is always depending on nature of the material and units of temperature. Now, nature of the material means if you consider if you consider two wires are made up of with the same material, then no doubt both having the same value of alpha because material does not changes. If I consider the two different wires having two different materials made with the two different materials, then the value of alpha is changes. So in the given question, I am considering two wires made up of with the same material they mentioned, then alpha is always remains constant. Okay. Here sometimes the question is asking in different manner. He was asking what is the final length of the rod or a wire. Final length. According to this diagram, what is final length? Final length is nothing but L2 asking. How can you get the value of L2? You want L2 na? Minus L1 will be taken that side. If you take the minus L1 that side, it becomes as a plus L1. Then L2 is equal to L1 plus alpha L1 T2 minus T1. L1 is common na? Then L1 into 1 plus alpha T2 minus T1. So this is the formula for the final length L2. Sometimes they are asking fractional change in length. Fractional change in length. Fractional delta L by L. If they ask delta L by L, take this delta T this side. Then what is the formula for fractional change in length? Alpha into delta T. If they ask percentage change in length, if they ask percentage change in length means delta L by L into 100%. So I want delta L by L. Delta T will be taken this side. Then my formula becomes alpha delta T into 100 degree Celsius. 100%. Understand? So depending on the given question, just use one formula. You can get every answer. Okay. Now we are going to the coefficient of superficial expansion. If you go into the superficial expansion, it is generally denoted by the beta. Superficial expansion means it is related to the area. So instead of length, you should write the area. Then beta formula is A2 minus A1 by A1 into T2 minus T1 or delta A by A into delta T. The units of area meter square and SI units of area meter square. Meter square cancel. Then again we have the same units like per degree Celsius or per Kelvin for beta. So beta also depending on nature of the material. Now coefficient of volume expansion or cubical expansion. It is denoted by gamma. Gamma is related to the volume. Hence, how the formula will be changes? V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1 or delta V by V delta T. Units are per degree Celsius or per Kelvin. So we have alpha related to the linear expansion, beta related to the superficial expansion, gamma related to the volume expansion. So what is the relation between the alpha, beta and gamma for isotropic solids? Isotropic. Isotropic means the expansion will be same in all direction, then that type of solids are named as isotropic solids. So the relation is beta is equal to 2 alpha, gamma is equal to 3 alpha. Okay, sir, they given the value of beta, asking about the gamma. Then what is the value of alpha here? Alpha is equal to beta by 2. So instead of alpha, beta by 2. So you can use this relation for getting the answer between gamma and alpha or gamma and beta. Okay, and what is gamma? Gamma I said 3 alpha. Can you write 3 alpha as alpha plus 2 alpha? Then gamma is equal to alpha plus 2 alpha, nothing but beta. So gamma is equal to alpha plus beta. This is the relation between the alpha, beta and gamma for isotropic solids. Sir, if you consider the anisotropic solids, anisotropic solids means their expansion is different in different directions. Then the value of the alpha is alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z by 3. Here alpha x is the linear expansion along the x-axis, alpha y is the linear expansion along the y-axis, alpha z is the linear expansion along the z-axis. So if they ask about the linear expansion, alpha is equal to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z by 3. Sir, I want gamma. If you want gamma, 3 will be taken this side. Then gamma is nothing but 3 alpha na. If gamma is 3 alpha, then what is the value of gamma? Gamma is equal to alpha x plus alpha y plus alpha z. Okay, this is about expansions of alpha and beta and gamma. Sorry, coefficients of linear expansion or superficial expansion or volume expansion. Now, in the given question, if they ask about the density, how the density varies with the temperature. We know the formula for the density is rho is equal to mass by volume. On rising temperature, mass of the solid is not changes, it remains constant, hence density is always inversely proportional to the volume. Means on rising temperature, volume is, we know, increases, that's why density is decreases. So what is the general formula for coefficient of volume expansion? Gamma is equal to V2 minus V1 by V1 into T2 minus T1. That's why instead of volume, if you convert into the densities, then 2 is replaced by the 1 is replaced by the 2. Then this is rho 2 into T2 minus T1. Nothing but minus delta rho by rho into delta T. So why are you using the word called minus? The minus which indicates that on rising temperature, the density of the solid is decreases. Okay. Let us consider about some applications. So for the first application is, I considered two rods. One is made up of with one material called coefficient linear expansion alpha 1, and another rod whose coefficient of linear expansion is alpha 2. The length of the first rod is taken as L1 and the length of the second rod is taken as L2. Different materials, hence different values of alphas will be there. Okay, now on rising temperature, they said the difference in length remains the same. Not he said about the length, the difference in length. What is the meaning of difference in length? This is L2 and this is L1 now. So difference in length is nothing but L2 minus L1. Let us, I think this is some X should be remains constant for all rising temperatures. So what is the expansion in the first rod should be equal to the expansion in the second rod. Expansion formula, now all I said, delta L1 should be equal to the delta L2. Delta L1 formula, L alpha delta T. Delta L2 formula, L alpha delta T. For first rod, initial length L1, alpha 1, L2, alpha 2. For same rise in temperature. So delta T cancel. I got L1 alpha 1 is equal to L2 alpha 2. So they took one copper, another one is brass. Then length of the copper and alpha value of copper, length of the brass and alpha value of the brass. Okay. Now if suppose in the given question they said the value of L2 minus L1, but asking what is the length of the shorter rod or what is the length of the longer rod. Shorter rod length means L1 asking, longer rod length means L2 asking. Right now, so let us see how can you found the answer. Let us, I would like to found only one answer, remaining answer based on that one you can write. Can you found the shorter length? Okay, if you want L1, do one thing from this equation, found L2 by L1. So L2 by L1 is equal to alpha 1 by alpha 2. Then L2 by L1 minus 1 becomes alpha 1 minus alpha by alpha 2 minus 1. Then L2 minus L1 by L1 is equal to alpha 1 minus alpha 2 by alpha 2 na. So L2 minus L1 they given as said, let it will be X. So X by L1 is equal to alpha 1 minus alpha 2 by alpha 2. Therefore unknown length, shorter length he was asking, means L1 is equal to X alpha 2 by alpha 1 difference alpha 2. So this is the formula for the length of shorter rod. Sir, if the asking length of longer rod, L2 is equal to X into, instead of alpha 2, you write alpha 1 here, alpha 1 difference alpha 2. So to measure shorter length, use this formula, longer length, use this formula. If they asking any ratio, please use the formula L1 alpha 1 is equal to L2 alpha 2. Our next application is effect of temperature on pendulum clock. Generally, pendulum clock are measuring tapes or scales made up of with the invar steel. Why we are just made with the invar steel? Because their value of coefficient of linear expansion is very small. Sir, if the alpha value is very small, what happens? On rising temperature or decreasing the temperature, the length of tapes or scales or pendulum clocks is generally not changes. Okay. Now what I am doing, I am made the pendulum clock other than the inward steel. If you made other than the inward steel, automatically the length may be changes. If the length changes, what happens to the temperature? Sorry, time period. Time period and length relation I learn in the simple pendulum experiment 2 pi into root over L by G. If the length of the pendulum is increases, then its time period also increases. Time period means time taken to complete one oscillation is increases. So one oscillation means, for suppose it starts from here, on rising temperature it takes more time to reach again this point. Whenever it takes more time, it loses the time. So for a given time interval, if temperature theta is more than the calibrated temperature, calibration temperature means the temperature at which the pendulum clock shows the correct reading is called as calibrated temperature. If temperature is more than the calibrated temperature, then what happens? Clock loses time. So loss of time, if they ask in the question, loss of time per day, the formula is 1 by 2 alpha temperature difference between these two. Which temperature is more? Here the temperature what you take is more. That's why theta minus theta c. Per day asking. Per day how many seconds? 86,400 seconds. So this formula is loss of time if they ask per day. So if they ask per second, then this value is becomes equal to 1. Okay. If suppose the temperature where you measure is lesser than the calibration temperature. If it is lesser than the calibration temperature, what happens? Length is decreases. Whenever the length is decreases, time period is decreases. Time period decreases means time taken to complete one oscillation is decreases. That means it makes more oscillations. Whenever it makes more oscillations, what happens? Gain of time will be takes place. So gain of time period, gain of time per day is equal to 1 by 2 alpha. In these two, which temperature is more? Calibration temperature is more. That's why theta c minus theta into 86,400. This is loss or gain of time per day. Per second if they ask, this value becomes equal to 1. Here what is alpha? Alpha is the coefficient of linear expansion of pendulum clock. Okay. So our next application is thermal stress in an object due to the thermal expansion. For this I am considering one rod whose length is some L. Now this rod is fixed between the two rigid walls. What are these? Rigid walls. This is at a particular temperature theta 1 degree Celsius. Now temperature rises. Whenever the temperature rises, what happens? We know that the metal rod is now try to expand. Is this expands? Not possible. Why? Because I am placing this metal rod in between the two rigid walls. Rigid walls is not possible to suppose it to move. They are fixed always. So what happens? This metal rod is applied some normal reaction on the wall. For every action there is opposite reaction now. So here some force is acting like this. Similarly in this side, normal reaction will be acting in this direction. So force will be acting in this way. What happens here? The elastic strain produced by the metal rod is compensated by the normal reaction force acting by the walls. So we know the formula for the Young's modulus. The formula for Young's modulus is Y is equal to stress by strain. Lengthwise we got, that's why it is thermal stress by thermal strain. Strain means change in length by original length, and the question asking thermal stress. So what is the formula for thermal stress now? Thermal stress is equal to delta L by L will be taken this side, Y into delta L by L. What is the formula for delta L by L? Delta L by L is nothing but delta theta will be taken this side, then alpha delta theta is the formula for thermal stress. So here Y is Young's modulus, alpha is coefficient of linear expansion of this metal rod, and delta theta is the temperature difference. Sometimes the question asking thermal force. Stress formula force per area. Force per area. If you take the area that side, then thermal force value is Y A alpha delta theta. Here A is area of cross section of this rod. Okay. This is the thermal stress in an object due to the thermal expansion. Thermal stress value Y alpha delta theta, thermal force formula Ya alpha delta theta. Our next application is expansion of measuring scales or tapes. Then previously I said scales or tapes are generally made with the inverse steel. If I made the scale other than the inverse steel, then let us say take a metal scale. That metal scale having coefficient of linear expansion is alpha, and it is calibrated at a particular temperature called T1 degree Celsius. What is the meaning of calibrated temperature? Means if you measure any length of a body, for suppose I am taking one metal block, it is made with the alpha m. I think scale is made with one material and this rod is made with the another material. Okay. Now I would like to measure this length. If you measure at calibrated temperature, no doubt it shows always a particular reading, exact reading. What is reading here? For suppose this is 0, this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. So the length of the metal block is just 3 centimeter. Okay. Sir, if I measure the temperature, measure the length of this block other than the calibrated temperature, then what happens? So I measured at temperature T2 degree Celsius. No doubt this scale is expands. Scale is expands. Automatically it shows some error in the reading. What is the formula for error? Error is nothing but delta L is equal to L alpha delta T. What is L? Length of the block, and alpha scale should be taken. Temperature difference. Initial temperature is T1, now the temperature is T2. Then error, if they ask, we have only one formula, L alpha s delta t. Okay. Now, what is the observed length of this metal rod at T2 degrees Celsius? The formula is observed length L dash is equal to L into 1 plus alpha m minus alpha s into delta t. What is alpha m? Coefficient linear expansion of this metal block. Alpha s, coefficient linear expansion of scale. If suppose if alpha m is greater than alpha s, alpha m is greater than alpha s means it becomes positive value now, then observed reading is more than the real reading. If suppose the alpha m is less than alpha s, then it comes negative value, then L dash is lesser than the L. So true reading is lesser than observed reading if alpha m is greater than alpha s, and a true reading is greater than observed length if alpha m is less than alpha s. So if they ask error, please use this formula. If they ask the final length or observed length, please use this formula for metal tapes or scales. So these are the few applications related to the expansions of the solids. Thank you.